Woo! 9:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time again. Not starting right at 9 a.m. right on the dot as usual. Got caught up in working on some other things, and here we are starting at 9:15 again. This is starting to be a pattern. This I'll get back to the 9 a.m. I plan to do that. Two of the times I was ahead of schedule, and then we went live at 9:15 because I don't want to rush it. This time I was thinking about it, and then all of a sudden I was working on some of the things and I was like, "Oh my goodness, it's 8:55." And then here we are, rock and rolling. So, uh, we'll get back to tomorrow. We'll get back to the 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time right on the dot as usual. If you're new to the live stream, awesome. Welcome. If you're returning, even better. Good to see you back on here. First half of the live stream, we will cover Bitcoin, altcoins, stocks, and anything else that jumps out at us on the watch list. On the second half of the live stream, we will cover your chart requests, answer questions, all that stuff. So make sure to put in your chart requests with the ticker symbol. Let me know if it's crypto or stock or whatever asset it is. If you want me to look at a certain exchange, put that in the details. Are you long? Are you short? What's your plan of attack? Give me all the details so we can keep the live streaming. And what else? Help me with the algorithms. I'd appreciate it. Smash the like button. Keep reposting, sharing, whether you're on the X app, the YouTube app, whatever it is. Help me. I appreciate it. And with that, MSTR, also known as Strategy Inc., relief rally similar to Bitcoin? Question mark. Seems like we could be seeing a relief rally in the very near future. And we're going to jump into that right now. Might as well just jump right in. Brian Squivel, 1575. Brother, cover ZEC crypto. Are you saying it's on Ethereum or Ethereum as well? Give me all the details. But yeah, we'll cover. So we're looking at the MicroStrategy Inc. We've been watching Bitcoin. There was bullish divergence, a slightly higher low. Now we have a higher high, but it seems like price might come back close or actually retest the trending dots. And then maybe we see another higher high, and that would put in another higher low. And that higher high, brings us up to the yellow box, right? Yellow box. So we drew this out yesterday or the day before. Come back to the trending dots, come back up, maybe comes back down again, then tops out, traps some more bulls, drops, puts in a lower high, and then the bigger drop, right? So relief rally, bounce until proven otherwise. What we're looking at on MicroStrategy is this, right? So we've had this long, big correction so far from wick to wick, the top down. It was looking at 67% in a matter of 170 days. At some point, we're going to see a relief rally, right? At some point, we're going to see a bounce. At some point, we see a bounce. And after this big drawdown over nearly 6 months, at some point, we're going to see a relief rally. And we've been talking about it. There's several reasons why we can see price bounce back up to 244-ish. That's where the weekly trending dots are, right? They're lower now, but 240 was at 253. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. But a retest of the trending dots makes a lot of sense. You can see over here on this pivot point, September 2025. almost retested the trailing dots at 365. This bounced back up higher than the trailing dots, right? This move down here came all the way back up to the trailing dots, came back down, and then went higher. So we're expecting a retest of the trailing dots. It's still ultra bearish. So on the weekly chart, so we're just expecting a bounce or relief rally. We're not expecting the bear market to be over for MicroStrategy. By the way, we've been talking about MicroStrategy as the canary in the coal mine for Bitcoin for more than 5 years. No, at least 4.5 years. Yeah, probably at least 4.5 years. We've been talking about MicroStrategy being the canary in the coal mine for Bitcoin since the end of 2021 for sure. So let's just call it 4 years. In the last bear market, there were some points in the bull market. It broke out first. And then, of course, the bear market in 2025 as well, right? So the top was in November 2024. It's been in a bear market ever since. And that top wick to bottom wick so far, 72%. Previous bear market, it went like minus 90%, right? And it went about 50% lower than the 200-week moving average. We have a lot of targets for that too. We've been talking about it. The blue fractal is 2021, 2022, 2023. So we've been expecting a rally at some point. We haven't seen one yet, but even this rally here, then a big drop down, and then another relief rally over here. Say from, it was a multi-week rally. We haven't seen it. There's bullish divergence on the daily chart now, and we've been talking about a possible relief rally up into the trailing dots. So maybe it doesn't get as high as some people hope for. You can see the trailing dots are currently at 241, and I got the trajectory of that. And then expecting price to retest the 200-week moving average. And if this Adam and Eve double top pattern plays out with the target to the downside, it's already playing out in real time. But if the actual target gets hit, we would see MicroStrategy below $100, right? Even if it doesn't hit the target exactly, probably would see MicroStrategy hit $100, 120, and the 200-week moving average is currently where is it at? We don't need all of that speculation. So there we go. We got the 200-week moving average over here, and that is currently at $144. So 144, and by the time that happens, maybe it's 145, maybe it's 146. It's a slow moving average, but we're expecting it to be retested. Just like back here when there was a lot of people calling for new all-time highs, we were expecting price to retest the 200-week moving average. On Bitcoin, many are expecting for new all-time highs, and I'm expecting price to retest the 200-week moving average, and that's at $56,000 right now. Not just because of the canary in coal mine. There's several reasons why, but also because of the canary in the coal mine, right? But not only because of the canary in coal mine, but also. So that's where we're at. The daily chart. Could we see the relief rally? Right? Don't mind all these squibbly drawings over here, but massive speculation the other day. Even if it came back down over here and then broke out. So if we get another candle close back above the trailing dots, this breakout could be happening sooner, right? And however the price action plays out coming out, we'd be looking for if we get that candle close above the trailing dots and the downward trend line, the relief rally is most likely on, right? So we have bullish divergence going back from November 21st to December 31st. So bullish divergence, it's coiling up, it's coiling up, it's coiling up. Fake out comes all the way back down to 154, and now it's pushing back up. So expecting fake outs along the way. This could be that higher low and then relief rally. So could it spike higher than the train dots? Yes. Yes, it could. Is it possible we see relief rally come all the way back up and test this weekly? Possible. Do I think that's probable? Probably not. Probably not probable, right? So being that the weekly chart is pretty bearish right now, it may be a weaker bounce. It may be a weaker bounce. And then we got a new trend line coming out like that. You got downward resistance over here. So if it's a weaker bounce, maybe it just gets to $200 ish. If it's a stronger bounce, and if it's really if it's a bigger short squeeze, maybe up to the 250, right? But I don't think the bottom is in. It's come all this way to retest the 200, and it seems like it wants to retest the 200 and then possibly go below it. If it played out similarly to 2021, 2022, 2023, 2023, it would look like this, right? It would take a very long time. So if it does come back down here, say March, April, May 2026, right? However long it takes to play out, it could be down in this area till the end of 2026, beginning of 2027. Why? Because it's already happened once. It could happen again. We're not saying it will exactly, right? Price actions, there's a lot of similarities, but we're always expecting it to be different, right? So here we are. It's already different. You can see that there was a relief rally earlier and it dropped sooner. So it's more delayed, right? So we don't expect the fractals to play out exactly. It's just giving an idea that, hey, it's in a bear market and it could take the purpose of it is there's similarities and it could take a while to play out, right? It could take a while to play out. And this is how the previous bear market played out. I mean, it took a while. It takes a while for the ship to get turned around. So that's a daily chart. Zooming in on the positives for the relief rally. We have that bullish divergence like we talked about. We have the indicators even picking up bullish divergence. There was a buy signal 2 days ago on Monday. MACD bullish crossover. MACD is getting closer to the 0 line. So maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe next week we see an actual buy signal. But as of right now, we don't have a buy signal. It's just we're starting to see a local bottom for the relief rally. So to update this, right? Down, up, maybe a back test. And so it takes a little bit longer, right? This takes a little bit longer to build the momentum up. It takes a little bit longer to build the momentum up. It takes a little bit. Oh, there's a wick right there. Yeah, so it might take. Here, let me redraw this. I guess I missed that. Daily chart. Must no. let's see. Bullish divergence. Come up. And then maybe getting a buy signal somewhere around in here. So it may take some more, like another week or so to build up the energy for a better relief rally. But keep in mind, the weekly chart is still ultra bearish. So any bounce, any relief rally, I'm expecting to get sold off. But that doesn't mean it couldn't last, right? So started going through a bottoming phase over here. Could be a 2 to 3 month bounce relief rally, right? Similar to Bitcoin, 45 to 60 days. And then further downside. Will it even get this high? I don't know. $200 psychological value. You got a wick over here at 198. You know, you got the daily pivot over here at 189, which would be resistance. So maybe by the time that happens, the weekly trending dots are over here as well. So bounce, relief rally, see how it goes. But expecting all bounces and relief rallies to get sold off. No buy signal yet. Just starting to get back above the trending dots. Weekly chart is the caution. Caution, caution, caution. Weekly trending dots are well below it, right? So MicroStrategy relief rally. Let's see what else. Oh, and Ethereum. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Bitcoin. It may or may not get all the way down to the trending dots, but still expecting higher for now. Sorry, direct message. So that's Bitcoin still looks to be on track for the relief rally. We'll see if, how the actual price action plays out, but still expecting, this to continue upward and still expecting the next bigger drop to happen after that. So could the relief rally be over? Question mark. It could, but seems like it could be more painful for both parties if we continue higher. Like if you're trapping more bulls up here at that $100,000 range, which is a lot of people are going to get bullish again. It seems to be a better bull trap up here than over here, right? You're going to trap some bulls. I'm already starting to see the big arrows, but you're going to trap even more bulls over here. And you'd trap a lot more bulls. A lot of flippening would happen. We're going to go see new all-time highs if price gets up over here. And then pull the rug, right? And then a lower high. And then the breakdown of the trend lines. And then new lows, right? So this would trap a lot more bulls. This would trap more bulls. This has trapped some more bulls, but this would be even more, and this would be a lot more. And a lot of the late bear flippers would flip back to being bull, and then they'll flip back bearish down here, right? So you got the ones that flip really late. They were flipping bearish over here. And then we start looking for bounces and talking about relief rallies, right? Everyone wants to short from here all the way through here. Everyone wants to short it. We're getting less confident to short over here than, say, a lower high over here or a lower high over here, right? we start to get less and less confident as the big move already happened. Then we start seeing with a clear lens. You can only see this unfold in real time if you have a clear lens. If you're a perma bull or a perma bear, you would not see this with a clear lens. This is bullish divergence. We talked about it, we covered it. We are hoping for bigger or longer bullish divergence, similar to the altcoins, so that we could expect an even greater percentage on the relief rally, but we didn't get it, right? See it as it is versus how you want it to see it, right? So you had the low, then you had bullish divergence, starting to see higher lows confirmed with the higher high, taking out this pivot point, taking out this pivot point. Could come back, consolidate, let the trailing dots catch up, and then the next move up. Then let the trailing dots catch up. Then the next move up, right? Then the next move down. So that's what we're still expecting on Bitcoin. That's the daily chart. If we look at the weekly chart, flip over here. How are we doing on the weekly chart? Let's flip over to log. And this was laid out on October 10th. We didn't just make this chart yesterday or the day before. We made this chart on October 10th. So this week here, and then since then we had multiple candle closes. This is Heikinashi, by the way. I flipped over just to show you. Multiple candle closes below the trailing dots, sell signal, and now we're watching the trailing dots catch up. So you can see that this line was drawn weeks ago, and I have to keep moving it down because the trailing dots keep trending downward. Seems like we're coming in for a retest. Like I said, we don't expect the fractals to work out exactly. If it had, we would have seen price come all the way down to $74,000 to $78,000 first, then relief rally back into the trailing dots. But we saw price hit 80,400 on some of the exchanges, and now it seems like it wants to come back in for a retest, which would be about that 100 to 103 area, and longer term target one, right? So you got longer term target one up at that $100,000 area as well. So if you were to adjust this to try to line up with close prices, right? It would be more. It would be something like that. So this would all be moved up. Now, of course, it could just be a bigger move to the downside in the next one, and then we move this fractal back to the target 5. But just for like timing and visual purposes, I'm just moving it up. In the past, Bitcoin is retraced all the way down to target 5. Will it this time? We don't know. Maybe it only goes to target 4 this time. But the main thesis is that we're going to see price retest the 200-week moving average before it makes a new all-time high. That's the main thesis. Now, if it starts going below it, hits target 4, mid target 4, you're still at like $56,000. And of course, let's not rule out target 5. But for visual and timing purposes, if we did something more like that, maybe the relief rally lasts through January. Maybe the relief rally and then comes all the way back down and retests the 200-week moving average back in May, right? Let's just say something like that. But obviously, if it's going to retest it sooner rather than later, maybe it's more something like that, and then continues downward. So we'll see how it plays out in real time. We'll know when it's breaking down, right? Let's flip back to candles. That's just showing the overall trend. that will be the next. However, the price action plays out, we'll watch it in real time. But if you're watching it, I'm expecting it to get rejected by the trading dots. Maybe it spikes above it. And then once it starts closing back below this trend line and then closing back below target 2, the probabilities are going to continue to increase. So we're going to hit target 3. And Bitcoin would be at $70,000. Start closing below target 3, then the probabilities continue to increase that we're going to hit target 4 and retest the 200-week moving average. Start closing below target 4, then see target 5. So, and then we'll be looking to buy the right dip. If we see bullish divergence, we see a breakout of the long-term downward trend line, blah, blah, blah. We'll have it all. We'll be watching in real time the whole way down. So we're looking to buy the right dip. We're looking to buy the right dip. That's where we're at on the weekly chart. Here's the daily chart. Log. Now the trend lines are going to look off. What else? Bitcoin futures. Bum, 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 bum. Another drawn out relief rally. Ethereum. Bearish engulfing candle, but above the trailing dots. So could be seeing something like that. Could take some time to play out. XRP. Oop. Could be coming back to the trailing dots whenever, right? If the trailing dots are coming out like this, let the trailing dots and the moving averages catch up. And then higher targets. Chain link, right? Cardano. Algo. H bar. XLM. Bitcoin dominance. MicroStrategy. NASDAQ. That was not a lower high. That was not a lower high. So it wasn't confirmed. And after the sell signal over here, it flipped right back around with a buy signal back above the trading dots. Still bullish. Still bullish. Still bullish on the weekly chart. Still bullish on the 2-week chart. So still bullish. Signs, bearish divergence. You could say that bearish divergence was cleared. And now we're heading higher. So SP 500. Jesse, where are all your targets? Jesse, where are all your targets? Good morning, Mike G. What's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Jesse, where are all your targets that you had to the downside? Well, we talked about it. We covered it. We said if it takes out this pivot point over here, which it did today, then those targets are no longer valid, right? So buy signal, getting back above, bullish, come back for a retest of the trading dots. And at some point, you just got to know when, the thesis is wrong. Maybe it will be right on the next, right? The next move down. But it's been like the last RSI buy signals over here. Could it have flipped as an RSI sell signal over here? Yes, it could have, but it didn't. Could it have over here? Yes, it could have, but it didn't. So it's all about the closes. So the next RSI sell signal and breakdown could be the time that we put the targets back on. But right now, it still remains bullish, and it's a wait and see. I'm not in a SP 500 short. Gold, I've been saying, even if this is bearish divergence and a possible lower high, it's ultra bullish on the higher time frames. So I personally wouldn't be, obviously none of this financial advice. Obviously it's for education purposes only, and hopefully have a little bit of fun along the way. But when the higher time frames remain ultra bullish, I wouldn't be shorting it. And I wouldn't be chasing up here either. So it's, if you're already in it, maybe you're trying to push it. If you're, this move here, you wouldn't want to be chasing, and you wouldn't want to be shorting, in my opinion, even though there was a correction. Even though there was 11% correction, I wouldn't be shorting. We were talking about when all the Bitcoiners were saying, all the permabulls were saying, hey, gold is reversing. It's Bitcoin's time to fly, right? I mentioned on the live streams that I'm expecting the at least retest the highs and at least create bearish divergence, meaning higher prices, because the higher time frames are still ultra bullish. In hindsight, that was accurate, right? So we were talking about that down here. Talked about another breakout over here, but it's already bullish, blah, blah, blah. So price did go on to make a new all-time high. It has created bearish divergence, and this could be a lower high for a bigger pullback, which is healthy. Pullbacks are healthy when the higher time frames are ultra bullish, and provides you a possible, entry point. So if that is a local top, right, and you see a pullback, then it could still be, why is this so far off? Oh, this chart's messy. Messy Jesse. Let's see. There you go. So you do have bearish divergence. I don't know what I was drawing before. This is a longer term target that was hit. This longer term target was put out 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago. Smashed through it. I put it before gold and silver was a sexy chart post. I was posting it back in 2023, 2024. So the old cup and handle, right? The old cup and handle. But now we have bearish divergence to keep an eye on for possibly taking, locking in profits, realizing gains, right? At least some pullback. Depends on what your strategy is. Are you swing trading? If you're swing trading, you probably want to be thinking about locking in gains. And if you're a long-term holder, then maybe you're looking to buy the next pullback. But at some point, it's going to retest the 200-week moving average. May not be for a long time. Could be years. The last time it retested it was October 2023. And this is when I was posting. So almost 3 years ago, I was posting this huge cup and handle, and it was breaking out. So October 2020, yeah, at least 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure I did a post here and then another one here and drew this out, and it smashed that target. So I didn't draw this target out in hindsight. And so eventually it's going to retest the 200-week moving average. Eventually. When? We don't know. but you do have bearish divergence on the daily chart. Could put in a lower high, so maybe there is a pullback in the near future. But like I said, the monthly chart is ultra bullish. It's gone straight up. It's gone parabolic, right? And it could remain parabolic. So even if there's a big correction, it could pump up again, right? So it's a strong upward trend. Let's just leave it at that. Silver, similar thoughts. Similar thoughts. Oracle, not much is happening on this one. Not really of a bounce or relief rally quite yet. The dollar, so that's why I like to have multiple charts. Like the futures has a pending buy signal, and we've been talking about this even back here, that once it breaks this downward trend line and regains trailing dots, we can see the dollar gain strength, come back up here, maybe puts in a higher low, and then lets go and hits that target 2. There's a lot of reasons why the dollar could be back up to the yellow box. This DXY chart already had a buy signal yesterday. So this is the index, right? And both of them already had RSI buy signals. And the MACD is getting closer to the 0 line. All bullish milestones. So this could be the higher low. After the bullish divergence, this could be a higher low, and we're starting to trend upward now. So we drew this out at least a week or two ago. Nice, my man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thomas Rediker, Hot Diason stream reposted. I think is that German? I don't know. I don't know. What language is that? Is that German? I don't know. My pronunciation for other languages is awful. Just awful. And English too. So there we go. So that's $1. Ooh, I had caffeine, but probably could have had a little bit more coffee maybe, but I didn't have any coffee. But the VIX, not much is happening on the VIX at the moment. It's kind of trying to battle to get back above the trailing dots. Only target 1 was hit on the VIX. Not all targets were hit, but these are invalid now because the VIX came down even lower. So we'd have to redraw new targets. In the near future, we could see an RSI buy signal. We've seen a MACD bullish crossover on these more aggressive settings. And so something to keep an eye on. TLT, I haven't looked at TLT in a while. Bullish divergence on TLT. And we could see a pending buy signal in the near future on TLT. And then maybe it comes back, fills this gap, creates a higher low, and then takes off more to the upside. The last time we looked at it, we're still expecting to retest the 200-week moving average. Trailing dots started to flip downward, but the thoughts remain the same. But we did mention this, that higher time frames are bearish, and it could take a while for all that to happen. So We will see. I mean, if that's going to happen, then does it really even matter? It's not something that we're interested in trading myself. I'm not interested in it. Let's see, Panama. Path, weekly chart, daily. So the daily chart had a buy signal. We were covering the pending buy signal. Now it's had a buy signal. So the daily chart is bullish. It's above the 200-week moving average. It's above the trending dots. Weekly chart is bullish. 2-week chart is bullish. 3-week chart is bullish. And the monthly chart has a pending buy signal. There's not a lot of chart history, so that's why the indicator looks off over here for the monthly chart. So it's not that it was necessarily oversold that whole time. Maybe oversold down here, but it's because there's not a lot of chart history. So that's why. This is one of the setups that I posted in the website portal. So quick update. Obviously, we've never taken any money from affiliates or anything like that. So we like to plug our own website, and we continue to build tools to try to help the market snappers be successful. And what's included into the $49 plan, which happens to be the most popular, $49, you get the dashboard, the liquidity. I posted the path setup, which includes everything, right? I did a full, like a 1 paragraph. I did the entries. I did the exits. I did longer term targets, all of that, right? All my thoughts on it. And so I posted even with the chart with all the details in the setup section. So you'll see 2 of them there. And then once you click on the actual setup, then it takes you into all the details. So it's included into the $49. So we just rolled out setups. We rolled out the dashboard is the worst it's ever going to be. The liquidity is the worst it's ever going to be. But I like looking at it, right? Then you have these indicators. So we're in the process of updating and building out our data that's feeding into here as well. So it's going to cost me more money. I'm going to have to reinvest more money. But it's kind of an arbitrage for market snappers. The data that's going to be feeding in costs me at least 2 times. No, more than that. It's going to cost me multiples of what it would cost you to be a market sniper. So I'm paying for the data and everything that's going to get built out with it on a monthly basis, like on an enterprise level. And you all get to arbitrage the cost of that data for $49 a month. It doesn't make sense. It makes sense for you, right? But I should be charging a lot more. Like if you did a dashboard separately, it would probably cost you $19 to $29 the way it is now. Maybe you can find a free one. But where it's gonna go with like possible API connections, and it's all gonna tie together. It's all gonna tie in and be backed by intelligence at some point, right? So it's all going to be feeding, it's all going to be talking together, all that stuff. The recorded coaching used to be $79 a month by itself. It's included in the $49. We just rolled out the news. It's the worst it's ever going to be, right? Samsung and Intel rival Micron technology tops quality as tech. Okay. You can click on it. It'll bring up the corresponding charts with it. And then you could chart it yourself to see, if it kind of lines up with their article. And then you can click on and read the full article if you have more than 9 seconds of uh, attention span. I'm not clicking on it, right? But it's pretty cool. So we're putting our own sniper twist on it, where of course charts are involved. Of course charts are involved. And then the setups, right? And then the setups. And you would just click on whatever setup and it'll give you all the details. You can manage your own plan. You can upgrade, downgrade, cancel anytime you want. There's no refunds. So you would keep the access for till the end of your subscription. I believe that's how it works. So you'd cancel and then it would so it's going to be up to you. You could always email support as well, but it's just going to be, once you register an account to access all of this, it's just better, easier, faster to manage it yourself. Screener. Like I said, it's pretty good already, and it's got our own sniper twist on it, and you could put in the advanced filters. But we're in the process of upgrading the data, so I'm not going to release it until we are not going to release it until we upgrade the data plan and double check it. But coming soon. Same with intelligence, coming soon. And then we can upgrade it later too, but be pretty costly. So we're going to roll out the lesser version that has its own sniper twist on it. And then we will update this eventually, and it could all be tying together, right? With artificial intelligence built in and all talking together, all learning, and based off of the sniper ways. Also added, we haven't even talked about this, haven't even had time to talk about it, but the original indicators, we added trend lines to both of them. So we're so many upgrades and tools and stuff, and we don't even have time to talk about it all. So we're just going to keep our head down, keep building, try to improve the tools. Right now it's $49 a month. The data arbitrage alone is you're saving money already. So we're putting it all together. We're building out the tools, and this is the worst it's ever going to get. When we rolled out the $49 plan, it only included the 2 trading bots. So don't forget, you still have the 2 trading bots. It only included the 2 trading bots for $49, right? Then we started adding everything else. So we did the 2 trading bots first. Then we're building out all this on top of it, and we're going to continue to build the trading bots. I'm working on the 3rd one right now, but I got to back test it. Continue to back test it, make sure everything's working the way I want it to exactly. It's close. It's getting closer and closer, but it's got to be working exactly the way I envisioned it, and it's close. So we'll see. Woo! A lot of good stuff happening. So it's exciting time to be a market sniper. And there's Path. Teledoc. Target. US oil continues to drop down. So was bullish divergence on US oil, but it's dropping back down and the higher time frames are bearish. So even though there's bullish divergence over here, it's still bearish on higher time frames. So anytime you're looking at a bounce, anytime it's below the 200-week moving average, downward sloping 200-week moving average, the bounces are always a caution. Expect the bounces to get sold off. So bullish divergence on Hive, pending buy signal, relief rally similar to Bitcoin and or possibly MicroStrategy, all of that. Labu we covered yesterday. Had a buy signal yesterday. These are old. These are old drawings. It could come back for a retest. I think this is what we talked about. It could come back for a retest, but there was a buy signal and a bullish engulfing candle, and we're back above the trailing dots now. So the thing I talked about on Labu was that it's bullish on higher time frames. It's buy the dip season, and now it's ultra bullish on the weekly chart. So it's still buy the dip season. 3-week chart is bullish. It's still buy the dip season. The monthly chart had a buy signal. It's buy the dip season, right? So once there's that bullish engulfing candle and buy signal, and then price is getting back above the trailing dots, it's buy the dip season. So we'll see. It's high risk, high reward, biotech, bull 3x leverage, right? So caution, caution, caution. Never bet the farm. Never go all in, right? Maybe start with lunch money is what I always said. If you're brand new, learn the strategies, go through the recorded coaching, all that stuff, get a good base, 70 plus hours if you want to take a deep dive and not spend 5 years trying to learn it all. You could spend 2 to 3 months if you go hot and heavy with the recorded coaching. And then back test, then maybe go to a paper trading account, and then maybe start trading with lunch money. Whatever lunch money means to you. I kind of think about like $1,000. Like if you were to invest $1,000, and if you lost money, you wouldn't lose sleep over it. Maybe that's $100 for you. Maybe that's $50 for you. I don't know what that is, but maybe it's $10,000 for you. $10,000 isn't lunch money for me. I'm more of like looking at $1,000 lunch money where, if I lost $1,000, I still afford diapers, right? Still afford diapers. So with that, that's Labu. Let's pivot over to Magnificent 7. PLTR still ultra bullish on the weekly chart. Pending buy signal on PLTR. Google still ultra bullish on the weekly chart. Right? Still ultra bullish on the weekly chart. MicroStrategy still below the trailing dot, still bearish on the weekly chart. You do that gap over here, and you do have a buy signal back above the trailing dots right now. So it could be coming back up there's a miniature, tiny, small gap up here. That price could come back up this high and fill that gap and then put in a lower high. But The weekly trending dots are at $500, and that's a round number, a big round number. So $500, maybe it bounces up to 500, maybe back into target one, but there's a lot of resistance. There's a lot of resistance. So if you're playing this bounce here, it's caution because of the weekly chart, right? Caution. So let's see what else. Amazon, Nvidia, Tesla. Trending dots are up here. Sell signal close below the trend lines. What else? Netflix. Apple starting to get oversold on the daily chart. Getting closer to that. I told you so, Mom. When she locked in 30%, and then she's like, we could have gotten higher. Okay. Oh, Mom. Mom will be the first one. I told you, why didn't we do that? Like, and then I have to come back with, I told you so. Or you're right, Mom. Blackstone just fell 9% in 9 minutes. What ticker? Blackstone? Yeah, I know Blackstone, but what's the ticker symbol? Possible double top up here. Could be additional bearish divergence. Could be additional bearish divergence. Too early to say. Too early to say. I think that's about it. All right. So what are ZEC? Do we cover Ethereum? Yeah, we covered Ethereum. Yeah. There's not much really to cover on Ethereum other than what we've already been talking about. Let's look at ZEC. People love the Zcash, right? So nothing has changed from yesterday when someone asked about it. Talked about the bearish divergence, talked about the huge drop, the relief rally, and it seems like the top was in back in November. This could be a lower high. If you get a candle, you're already seeing candle closes below this more aggressive upward trend line. If you see candle close below the trailing dots, and you see candle close below this upward trend line, probably going to go lower, right? So that's a classic Wall Street cheat sheet, because if you look at from the buy signal here, it went up 1,700% in 2 or 3 months, right? Then it dropped 59% on the initial drop in 25 days. Then you see the relief rally, 83% over 27 days. And then you see the next move down. So it looks like the classic Wall Street cheat sheet of a market cycle. Looks like a classic one. So that's similar thoughts as yesterday. Probably don't need to cover Zcash every day, but there we are. Yep, covered it. Yep. Thank you. BX. Okay. BX. Blackstone Inc. Let's see. That's the daily chart. Yeah, that candle wouldn't have looked great when it was down here at 147. Could have a sell signal in the near future. It probably had a pending sell signal down here. Oh, yeah, we looked. I mean, we glanced at it. We covered it yesterday. I mean, we covered them very briefly. So, yeah, we already did. Where was that? Oh, BX. So, when price is down here, like you mentioned, it was probably a pending sell signal, most likely. And then it probably was an RSI pending sell signal as well. And it was probably a pending MACD bearish crossover. So if you get a candle close like that, then probably going lower, right? Look at the higher time frames. Pending sell signal, pending bearish engulfing candle. Doesn't look great. This looks like the top at 200 over here in November 2024. Price came all the way back to the 200-week moving average, rallied, dropped, could be putting in another lower high, and then see if it comes back for another retest over here. So, right. That's about it. Yeah, I covered those quickly, but woo, probably wants to come back down. It's going to be interesting how the candle closes, the daily and the weekly. So they both could close with sells. They both look like they could be lower highs, which would signal further downside. What else? Expect bounces and sell-offs along the way, right? There you go. I think that's about it. MicroStrategy, that's what we started off with. Now come back down. Yeah, it might just take some time. Just keep in mind that the weekly chart is ultra bearish, just like all the charts that we talked about that were ultra bullish on the weekly chart. It's buy the dip season when the higher time frames are ultra bullish, and it's short the bounce season when the weekly chart is ultra bearish or bearish, right? So with that, I think we're going to call it. And we went about an hour. So a little bit shorter than normal, but still a solid hour. With that, hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you on the next live stream. I appreciate all of your support. Smashing the like button, hitting the comments, and we'll continue to sniper the markets together. We'll continue to build out the market sniper tools to help you sniper those targets and the markets and the targets and the markets even better in the future. And it's at the worst that it'll ever be for $49 a month. And then when the data gets rolled out, and then we get all the integration of it, and we continue to build each tool in the portal more and more and more. This is the worst it's ever going to be. It's only going to get better from here. We have big plans, big plans. So with that, have a good rest of your day. We'll see you on the next live stream. Adios.